what do you think helped you navigate the process of not letting your past go, but letting it define you?
I think it's really just accountability. You have to own what you've done. You have to own your decisions and own your mistakes, right? Just like I said earlier, I feel like we're creators because of the way we can see things, but we're also owners, right? Without ownership, you don't have the ability to control or change your past or your feeling of how you look at yourself in the past. So being able to really face the music and say, this is what I did. I know what I did was wrong. This is how I felt about it. This is why it hurts. This is why I'm upset about it. Uh, it's brought me peace, to be honest. It's just I know who I am. I'm secure with who I am, and that really helps me operate on the day to day when I'm tested because I do really believe we're always going to be tested. It's just in a different way, right? So it doesn't matter how much a person grows, there's always a new set of problems introduced to them. And again, having that awareness and knowing that those sets will be presenting themselves, it just reminds me back to the process when they arrive instead of just caving to some sort of pressure.
Yeah. When I'm very curious and I'm very fascinated with this question is what is one what is one mental barrier that you had before that you now have the tools to work through them? Meaning, for someone else, navigating not so much just like anger or violence or what it is you're going through, but if
Mhm.
someone has like this mental barrier where it's like you said, it's sometimes it's hard to see an alternative world, right? What is a tool that you have now that helps you navigate similar mental barriers?
Most of the time when we have a barrier, it not for every case, but for most, it's tied to fear in some way, right? That we're afraid of something, whether it's the way people are going to look at us, whether we're afraid of just failing, whether we're afraid of facing the facts about ourselves, um, and us running away from some specific truth. What I have now is the ability to manage that fear. I really used to think before when I got afraid of something that I needed to overcome it. Like, okay, I'm not ready because I'm still scared, so it's not the right time. I need to get stronger or whatever it may be. But I know now that fear is just needs to be told, sit over here and I'm gonna still work. Like I'm still gonna move. I'm gonna move afraid. And I have like a saying where it's like I understand fear is always going to be along for the ride. It could sit in the back seat, it could sit in the passenger seat sometimes, but I can never let it drive the car. And that's a tool I always refer to when I'm feeling some type of way about something. And I think about being afraid. I just think it's okay to be afraid, but we gotta move anyway.
Yeah. Just take one step at a time.
Yeah. And it
That's
takes reps. It's just like the gym, right? You want to get stronger, you have to do reps in the gym. If you want to learn how to manage fear, you have to rep fear. And that's something I would do a lot. When I was in a safe space and when no one was around and I was by myself, I would think about things that scared me, right? Because I need to learn how to be in that space and still go. So I would simulate it
yeah.
the same way a workout is. And over time, those reps help you.
Yeah. I wanna if this is too hard of a question, you don't have to answer it. But I want you to think about the very moment right before you pulled the trigger. Okay. Right before you pulled again, if this is too hard, I mean you don't have to do it.
Yeah.
Right? If right before you pull the trigger, if you can pause that very moment, like a movie scene, like you're watching a movie, if you
Mhm.
can pause that movie scene and you can walk up to you in that moment, what would you tell little Joshua?
I don't I don't think I could have got through to him at that moment. I think that decision was made long before that trigger was pulled. Uh, I would have tried to tell him to think about his mom. I would have told him to think about he'll never be able to like he's putting himself in a position where he's not going to be able to be there for her. You think you're protecting your family sometimes, and all you're doing is putting yourself in an opportunity to not be there for them, not be able to protect them in the future, not be able to support them, not to be able to contribute. You know, I would have said something like that. I think that would have been the closest I could have got to him. But I don't think he would have listened to me in that moment.
Mhm.
Just being real, because I knew who that kid was, and he was too his heart was too hardened at the time.